The Yoga Nidra teacher training program was very, very profound.
Strengthening my muscle of inner peace and calmness, for sure.
I want to introduce Yoga Nidra, my coaching clients, to work with this balance. And then when they have some blockages coming up in the coaching sessions, then to make personalized Yoga Nidra, especially for this, so it can help them to go through it on this subconscious level.
I never did any kind of yoga teacher training before. So this was like my first foray into it. Actually, I was pretty adamant that I hated yoga until I found Yoga Nidra. But yeah, I just wanted to preface that by saying that I never wanted to nor plan to take like a 200 hours asana type training.
I'm from Greece, but I live in Switzerland.
I'm from France and I currently live in Switzerland.
I'm from Jakarta, Indonesia.
I'm from Poland, but actually I live in Spain now.
What I'm really passionate about is human health, planetary health. I have a scientific background. I did a PhD. And then today I work part-time as a coach, specifically supporting a community of women who work on the front lines of food systems transition into sustainable food systems, which I feel like that's pretty important. So I'm quite happy to support them.
I am a transformational soul coach. And I use neuroscience, embodiment, meditation to help people align their inner worlds with their outer worlds so that they experience more love, intelligence, joy, fulfillment on a day-to-day basis.
First, I have my coaching practice. So what I would like to do is with every client, we're building like the new narrative, the goal, the objective, how I want to live my life, the new way of being. And it's a beautiful metaphor. So what I'm going to do is to build a nidra for each client once we agree on the new narrative. I can agree the sankalpa with this person, then I record it, I prepare it for the person. So as I support my clients by meditating, by practicing yoga nidra during the coaching journey, but also after, to build a new body, right? The new skill. It's not only manifestation, it's also growth.
And actually, I have a very specific project after this course. I was speaking to other supporting coaches in the community, and there is a desire to create like a free course for our community around embodying the inner refuge. So a lot of the journey that we did in the course, creating it with images, feeling it more and more somatically, and eventually being able to bring in spontaneously in Yoga Nidra and eventually in waking life. So that's my focus and my project for after this.
Every month I'm sending a newsletter to my community, and I always have a section on meditation. So until now, we're sharing your meditations from YouTube, like the themes that were fitting with the theme of the month. And going forward, I can design a short or a longer. I will be including my own nidras to share with the community.
It was the combination of the traditional Vedic teaching of Yoga Nidra and also the modern science. I really loved the classes about the brain chemistry, how it changes, and all the neurosystem. I feel like it was such an additional knowledge to all of this wisdom that comes from the ancient times.
The Yoga Nidra teacher training program was very, very profound. I was going through a time in my life where I could notice these old programs of burnout starting to come in, and I was looking for a way to really go deep inwards. And because I already I love to meditate and I love pranayama and breath work, and I've been doing it for many years now, more than 10 years consistently. I was looking for something even more effortless, because on the side of that, I'm also a professional dancer and a movement specialist. So I was like, I really want to work on myself, but I don't want to do anything. And that's when I found Yoga Nidra, and that's when I found Ally. I found you. And I fell in love, and I started to feel my body shift and change. And so I think what really happened during this program for me is the changes solidified rather than it being, and when I say what changed solidified, I think it's like the groundedness in my nervous system. Even though I have chosen this path of this line of work and service, I'm human. There are moments where I will spiral. There are moments where I will like really, really move into deep self-doubt and feel very unworthy, very, very unworthy of receiving, of taking up space. And through Yoga Nidra, I feel like I was able to develop this confidence in just being myself, really. But I feel like through the Yoga Nidra journey, through the knowledge, the practices, everything, the study, I feel more and more like when we talk about the bhavanas and we talk about sensing the opposites, I feel like that's become so, so much more accessible to work with in a waking day state. I don't even have to like close my eyes and be like, oh, like what am I feeling? No, it's instant, eyes open, and I'm able to like, oh, okay, this is it. Let's breathe into equanimity and like, okay, it's fine. It's okay. I'm fine. Nothing's gone that wrong. And I'm able to come back to a place of peace. So, and that's a very big deal. That's really profound. And I'm excited to now use this knowledge and integrate this into my practice so that my clients and my community can kind of solidify the same thing that I've been through, that I experienced, right? That they're able to solidify this kind of sense of trust in that, universe creator is always on our side, even when things look very bleak and dark and dim. There's always the opposite. There's always the other side, and that's where the healing is. That's where the transformation is. That's where the success is.
The variety, the rich library of nidras that you have, and Christine and Tina, which gives, I think, it was very interesting that, there is so much out there depending on what I want to work. So I think it helps people to practice and to find what you really need the day or the month or the week. And also try different teachers, which is nice, I think, for the personal growth, but also to build the body of the teacher. I think the online platform is very well designed, very user-friendly, easy to capture what is done, what is not done. The beautiful kind of visuals that you have built on yourself were very helpful. And then the community, I mean, the fact that because I build recurring meetings on my calendar, so every day there is a call, which for such a global community with different time zones, this was great. For me, the Monday one was easy with Emma. And so building this space where people can join whenever they have time and many options, not just Friday. I think this was very helpful to go and practice and listen, receive, give, etc.
I loved, just the flexibility of it, especially because the mentors are always really encouraging that you can dive in and out depending on what comes up in your life. Everything was super bite-sized pieces, so it was really easy to kind of go through it and just do, maybe one lesson today, one lesson the next day, and not feel like it was like overwhelming. And then just the practice, it just took me a lot deeper into my own practice in a way that I don't think I could have achieved like without the structure and also the theoretical understanding.
Strengthening my muscle of inner peace and calmness, for sure. My voice, the tone of voice as a teacher changed, or as a coach, or my presence at work, for example. I think many, I'm a well-being expert myself too, so there are many things that Yoga Nidra can help people. I think for sure it helps the nervous system to build this capacity of relaxing. Manifestation for me is key. I'm really into manifestation and neuroscience, so I do see how Yoga Nidra is also backed by neuroscience. And I've seen so many things on manifestation, but are very superficial. With Yoga Nidra, with this beautiful, this intention, the sankalpa that we build, for me, I can share it. I started with, I'm a magnet of love, abundance, and abundance. And you keep practicing, and little things. I don't need to become a billionaire to experience abundance, but these little shifts, little things, and how my life is fully abundant, and then observing that and being so grateful. I don't know, for me, this was I think it's a great tool for manifestation. And actually, I bought this book in Bali. I was there, I came back today. And I'm reading this book, and he really goes into also the science and what happens. And for my coaching, so for coaches, this training offers a deep understanding from the yoga philosophy plus neuroscience on how to change limiting beliefs, which we work a lot in coaching, right? And what happens in the body and why we need to fully relax. I think it has great potential, and it's not just a meditation practice, it's more than that. It's great to talk about manifestation, to build a new life, a new self, right? Once we move into this space, into the brain, and then we plant the seeds and then observe.
I knew that I wanted to share Yoga Nidra in Polish ever since I've started this training on YouTube, just as a service from myself to people who don't know this tool and might need it, because it's so powerful and effortless at the same time. But actually, during the training, it shifted a little bit. I just have another thing that I wanted to add. Not only the YouTube videos in Polish, but also I am a soul purpose coach. So I created the program that, because I say that your purpose starts with inner balance. So there's no purpose if we don't feel this peace inside of us, when we have this clarity and contact with our intuition in order to know like which direction is for us. So I want to introduce Yoga Nidra for my coaching clients to work with this balance, and then when they have some blockages coming up in the coaching sessions, then to make personalized Yoga Nidra especially for this, so it can help them to go through it on this subconscious level.
I definitely got better sleep. I got rested. I think that was the first thing that I noticed. Like I finally felt rested. Remembering my dreams maybe a little bit more often. Insomnia has been with me my whole life. And I actually started your recordings after I had what I suspect to be a bit of a nasty reaction to the fourth COVID vaccine. I got really, really tired afterwards. And it was the only one that caused me this kind of intense fatigue. So I was practicing a lot because of that. And then through the really regular practice of the course, and even I realized being able to fall asleep faster, because I think when you're in Yoga Nidra, you are awake as your body goes through that like relaxation down into what you would need to fall asleep. And I started realizing, especially when I was napping without Yoga Nidra, that I could feel the moment that I kind of like went down into those restful states. And then it was also like a lot easier to wake up at the right moment so that I don't get too groggy, right? Like if you have too long of a nap, that can happen. So I would say, yeah, probably that. That was pretty cool to start to really be able to feel also consciously like, oh, okay, I've dropped now into the right place. I'm resting now.
Actually, I was practicing Yoga Nidra with you like nearly every day, even before the program. So it was like continuing all of these benefits that I've started to feel ever since I just started doing Yoga Nidra regularly. But only watching the videos, being part of this community and the calls, and then the other workshops like the karma workshop and the creative writing and the breathwork with Jacob. And right now, the one that I'm very excited about watching, the one with Stefano about the language. I feel like it all made me be in this energy of, making things possible, of believing that we can follow our dreams and we can do whatever we feel like in our life, and this limitless possibilities that the inner peace can give you, and the clarity of where to go. So yes, the everyday practice. I love that the in the training we needed to have this log sheet and like have this everyday practice, because like I said, even though I was practicing before, it was still kind of a motivation to just continue on doing that and just having this space for rest during the day. And it changes so much because I work only in the morning. So there was like, I work Yoga Nidra, And then, oh my God, it looks so much different the whole afternoon, you know? Such an amazing, amazing, amazing idea to have a level 2. I will be on the list for sure. Like Yoga Nidra is something that I want to work with in the future. Absolutely, yes.
And then at the end, I always remember as well taking in the Yoga Nidra principles, how to bring them up in a nice way, really slowing it down, being okay to slow down at the end, waking them up. Because I'm with soul journeys as well, sometimes people get in so deep that I'm just like waiting, and then I have to like maybe bring in some bowls and stuff to get them to like wake up, because they're just like, and then their eyes are like moving, and then I'm like, okay, you know what, but then through the program, I learned different ways of like, okay, if they're so deep, what are the words I can use, what are the breathing techniques I can use to take them back out. And that was really important, which is something I didn't have in my practice before, because I was like, okay, like they're all deep inside, now I'm gonna bring them back up. Like, sometimes me just instructing that, or even through visualization, it's not enough. You need a little bit more. So that's been helpful. I really want to create more free yoga nidras on YouTube, because I want to grow my YouTube channel and following as well. So I think consistently releasing one a week will be great. And finally, as well, creating maybe a short online program, which I already have the name for, that's focused on using yoga nidras as a way to call in, different experiences, or open up feeling receptors of things you want to feel more in your life. So I'm excited those are all the plans.
Oh wow, I've already recommended it to so many people. And when I start, working with my business and everything, I hope I can recommend it to many more. Because it's absolutely wonderful. It's absolutely amazing. And yes, I love, like I said, how you combine the ancient teachings with the modern science, and like exposing the benefits of Yoga Nidra in this whole spectrum, not only closing to one aspect, which is absolutely wonderful. And yeah, it's so clear, the journey through all the koshas and the techniques, the trauma informed yoga nidra, all the information that you and Tina and Christine and other mentors are sharing. It's just incredible, absolutely incredible. I love the self-paced, and I love that you could just be on the mentor call, then maybe disappear for some time if life happens, and then go back. And it was always such a safe space. So yeah, I know that there are many yoga teachers who just have like 4 hours during 200 hours yoga teacher training for Yoga Nidra. But I feel like, because I've also had that, I'm also a certified yoga teacher, but I feel like it's not even like, you cannot compare these two things. Like the amount of knowledge and wisdom and like the practice tools that we are taught in this training is beyond amazing. Like I didn't have any expectation when I was joining, but when I was going through the training, I was like, oh wow, that's truly amazing. Like seriously, like this is everything that you would need to start guiding Yoga Nidra in a way that you will feel confident.
So I was in Bali on the yoga training with Emily Kusser. And because I shared, I just finished my 100 Yoga Nidra, and people were asking me, oh, please tell me, because there's not that much out there. So they were saying, I found this in Bali, but are shorter, so not 100. And yeah, I talked already about the program, and I recommend it also to some friends here in Switzerland. And the why, I think the length, 100 hours, is also a lot. So for people like me that I may never do my vinyasa or hatha teacher training, right? I may do it out of interest, but I'm not going to teach. There are some, I think, teacher trainings, they do the yin, the vinyasa, the hatha, and a bit of nidra. So doing a deep dive into nidra, but in a holistic, super comprehensive way, I think for me this is the competitive advantage of this training. There's one here in Zurich, but the nidra is just part of the whole teacher training. So you don't go into that depth. And also the flexibility, because people ask me about virtual or in person. If you do a vinyasa or hatha, yes, you need, but for the nidra, I'm not sure you really need the in-person one. And for me, it worked perfectly as long as you have the capacity time to keep practicing and you have, I mean, a huge library of practices. Yeah, these are the two benefits. And then you're at your own pace, and you learn, you have the community than just going 2 weekends, 3 weekends in the class with 10 people, and then that's all. So I think these are the three competitive advantages that you may need to promote more, right? Or this is how I sell it, right? The three benefits that make it easy for people to go through that.
I would definitely recommend it, especially if someone is a bit like me, which is they're not really that familiar with like yoga teacher trainings, like they don't necessarily have a background in it. And I would probably again recommend it for first time Nidra training because I think you do a really nice job with like being trauma informed, catering to different communities and like kids and people with trauma like insomnia, etc., etc. So I think it gives this really nice, it's a very nice like modern overview. I would say like now I'm really curious about maybe some of the more intense practices, especially that you mentioned in some of the classes. But I think as a first step and as a very like modern informed, trauma informed course, it probably feels like everyone's going to benefit as an entry point. There isn't going to be anything that I was like, whoa, like I can like some communities might not gel with that. Like I feel like it's a really good, like holistic, modern entry point into Yoga Nidra.
Do the training. It's just beautiful. I think it's for everyone, even if someone is already familiar with yoga principles, like myself, because I'm also a yoga teacher. So then it's nice revision to go back into it. And again, just go deeper into your own. We're always students, right? It's continuously be a student. And I think also telling them that fact that you have the live calls every week, I think is really supportive because I've done many trainings and a lot of them are not weekly. A lot of them are like maybe bi-weekly or even once a month. So this is really nice that it's every week. You get the support you need when you need it. And yeah, also like, because I think you are just such an amazing, wonderful teacher and human being.